A House seat in the suburbs of Columbus, Ohio. That seat has been squarely in Republican hands, except for one time, since 1920. But Republicans are worried this time around. Kevin Walling is back with us, along with RNC spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany. Kayleigh, let me start with you. Wouldn't the really appropriate thing here to say is that you got to win. Democrats got to win. Just because they've got a strong showing doesn't mean much. It's kind of like number 2 at the Indy 500, never got to have dinner with Linda Vaughn. You got to win.
That's exactly right. You know, elections are 50+1. That is all you need. And right now, this is a nail-biter race. It's very close. We are confident that the Republican, Troy Balderson, will pull it off in the end, particularly because his opponent, Danny O'Connor, has really kind of flip-flopped on Nancy Pelosi, saying, I won't support her, and then flip-flopping when he was on the airwaves on MSNBC. Not the model of a Connor Lamb, who was more of a moderate Democrat that ended up winning in Pennsylvania.
Kevin, I bet you want to jump in on that one, because I do know that his message has been health care and retirement issues. Is the Nancy Pelosi issue going to bite him in the rear, or is he going to be able to pull this off?
I mean, this race isn't about Nancy Pelosi as much as the Republicans want to make it about him coming out and saying over and over again that he will not support her for leadership of the Democratic Party. What this issue and what this race is about John Kasich's efforts to expand Medicare, Democrats' efforts to protect the expanded Medicare across Ohio, focus on affordable health care, focus on pushing back on Republicans who want to take away protections for pre-existing conditions.
Well, Kevin,
and this race should never be that tight.
Well, Kevin, it might not be that tight, but, let's listen to what the president said, because he was campaigning for the Republican Troy Balderson just the other day, and here's the president.
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have things that have never happened before. And, look, if the Democrats get in, they're going to raise your taxes. You're going to have crime all over the place. You're going to have people pouring across the border. So why would that be a blue wave? I think it could be a red wave. I tell you what, really, I think it should be a red wave.
Kevin, I spent 8 years in northern Ohio, up in Cleveland, love the area, and that's a very persuasive argument. The economy is strong, and that would resonate not only in Cleveland, but in Columbus, which is where this congressional district is. It seems to me the Republicans have the advantage.
So I think what you're seeing out of this race is Danny O'Connor saying, I want to work with the president when it comes to trade and tariff policy. I want to work with the president when it comes back to, bringing manufacturing jobs back to the Columbus area. I want to work to protect the Affordable Care Act and the ban on discrimination when it comes to pre-existing conditions. So there's avenues in which we can work with the president, and I think that's a message that's resonating in the suburbs of Columbus. While the Republicans want to spend all their time talking about Nancy Pelosi,
Kayleigh, I want to ask you a question. Kayleigh, it really boils down to who turns out the most people. It doesn't matter if it's just a small, district or even larger. Are the Republicans going to be able to turn out enough supporters to defeat the Democrat?
I have no doubt. We had 20,000 RSVPs for Donald Trump's campaign rally in Ohio. That's extraordinary. We had to upgrade it to a larger space. I'm not worried about our base. What I am worried about are Ohio voters being deceived by some of the talking points that Kevin just spewed out about him being a Trump ally. Danny O'Connor is not a Trump ally. He's been talking like Nancy Pelosi on tax cuts.
There you go again, Kayleigh. There you go again, Kayleigh.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to repeal. He wants to, instead of interrupting, please let me finish. I sat there and listened to your whole thing. He is against tax cuts. He wants to repeal tax cuts, which have saved the average American family in Ohio $1,500. This man is against free market economics. He's against money in the pockets of the people of Ohio, and he is a Nancy Pelosi puppet. And yeah, I will say that loudly.
Kevin, we have 10 seconds. I'm going to let you have the last word.
Sure. This race should never be this
Why run away
close.
from Nancy Pelosi? She is presumably the leader in the House for the Democrats. So why not? Why shouldn't he embrace her? And you have 10 seconds.
Yeah, because Nancy Pelosi's ratings are underwater in that district, as are Donald Trump's below 50% in that district. It should never be this close. It's going to be exciting.
Got to cut you both off at that point because we've run out of time.
Look at